Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. Our Impact Interview this week is a man of inspiration that stares down adversity and fights through challenges on a daily basis. Former Rutgers defensive tackle Eric LeGrand fractured 2 vertebrae in his back 12 years ago, leaving him paralyzed. While he continues to beat the odds on a road to recovery that all of us believe will see him walking again, he inspires others along the way. Eric finished his degree at Rutgers, spends time in broadcasting, and has opened up LeGrand Coffee House in his hometown of Woodbridge, New Jersey. Eric, it is an honor to have you on the show with us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys reaching out and having me on.
No doubt. All right, so look, your story's well documented, but I want to ask you how you think, Eric, you've impacted college football. You know, your story's been well documented, and certainly there's been a lot of people that have influenced you since then and helped. But how do you think your story has impacted college football in that community?
Yeah, you know, it's been 12 years since my injury, but people still remember that day. And every time they see me, they always would love to reflect on where they were that day, what they were doing at that moment. And, you know, they've been wishing me well. They're still believing. And, you know, just keeping a faith in that one day I will be able to walk again. And I remember a good friend of ours, Adam Telefero, when I first met him, he had the similar stories like I'm telling you right now. This people reaching out to him, and I still remember the clip he showed me walking back into Beaver Stadium and the crowd going crazy for him. So one of my biggest inspirations right there.
Well, you will, and no doubt about that. You know, Eric, a few years ago, I met you and your mother, Karen, and heard you talk about the positive attitude that you bring to every day. As you look at the challenges you've beaten so far and the ones ahead, can you share with our viewers how you attack every day with the mental attitude that allows you to keep winning?
Honestly, it's being an athlete, being a football player, it's the grind, to be honest with you, because I think about all the opportunities that you get to actually play the game of football. It's really not that many games, but you think about the practices, the weight room sessions, the study hall, everything that goes into it. I kind of now adjusted that into my life. Like my game days are my game day victories when I start recovering, I start getting better. But it's the mindset of being able to work hard through therapy, through those practice sessions, being able to, when things don't go your way, being able to, not accept failure, but fail, be motivated by it and continue to push. Learn how to work together as a team. Learn how to become a leader. All the things I learned on the football field and being an athlete has now shifted into my life. And that's how I attack every day, going out there being the best that I could possibly be.
Hey, Eric, Tom Bradley here. Can you talk about how much the Rutgers family and Greg Schiano has meant to you and your family, and how real is that family ideal in the Rutgers program?
It's true. It's a lifestyle. Forget about me, I love you. And there was no better example of that from when I first got hurt, and we were still in the middle of the season. Him coming up to the hospital where I was staying in Hackensack and relieving my mom for the night and literally breaking down game film in my hospital room at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, just so somebody could be there. And then I would pretend like I would go to sleep so he would go home and get some rest, because I knew he had to be back up and at the Hale Center football facilities at 6 a.m. in the morning. So, and still to this day, you know, he supports me and that family atmosphere, going around the team, being around the program, drafted me to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, that man, he's my coach, but I consider him family.
Eric, so now you are an entrepreneur with LeGrand Coffee House, serving up, as you call it, a daily cup of believe. And anybody in the football community, you're going to have to give them the caffeinated version for sure. It's a lot of hours they put in. And for anyone interested, you can order your own daily cup of believe coffee being shipped to your house. The holidays are coming up, hint, hint. But what got you interested in coffee and in starting your own business, especially during a pandemic?
And during the pandemic, I felt like the world was at each other's throats. Everyone was going at each other, going crazy. I'm like, how can I bring people together? Like, I was just tired of all the animosity that was built up towards people. I'm like, well, what do people really want and what do they need? And I came up with the idea of coffee. And then I said, I got to actually try this product, because I don't need coffee. I think you can tell. I wake up and I'm ready to go all the time. But I was like, you know, I got to try this stuff. And let's just say it's changed my life, obviously, in multiple ways. I enjoy it now. I have 2 cups every day. And it's just something I want to bring people together, because there's just so much that can happen over a cup of coffee, conversations, people meeting up that haven't seen each other in a long a long time. So that's why I started LeGrand Coffee House, and we are bringing unity to the community with a daily cup of belief.
I love it. I just love the whole cup of belief concept. So with the holiday season, obviously it's a time where we reflect on our lives and our families. As you look to your own life and family, what does your family and the experience of your life mean to you in this season of reflection?
They're everything, because all the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see, like my mom and handling the insurance and medication, all the orders that I need to be able to come to my house with my nurses to take care of me. My aunt and uncle bringing me from event to event. Now my mom really can't drive at night, so I just literally sent a text to my aunt like, "Hey, I have an event tomorrow night. Can you pick me up?" You know, things like that. My sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, my nephews, they all know how to be around me, lift me up, and they motivate me. They truly do. And as you said, it's a season of reflection. You just think about how far you've come, the relationships that you continue to develop with them, and you realize it's family over everything.
Your number has been retired by Rutgers, but it will be reinstated on that day when you walk back on that field. When that time comes, what characteristics do you want in the player who ultimately gets the honor of being the first to wear your number 52 again?
Somebody that never gives up, works their butt off day in and day out. They don't complain. They wake up, they come to work, they know what the job they have to get done, and they do it. They believe in themselves. They believe in the man above. They believe in their team and their family. I want that representation to be of me as they think about that and say, you know what? I wouldn't want to let him down, because that's the way I kind of look at it now. I feel like this is my responsibility. People look up to me. They see me as inspiration. How can I give up and let them down?
Talk about the broadcasting part of things. What do you want to do with it? You mentioned you're going to be in the radio booth for the game. What are you doing right now broadcasting-wise? And Eric, where does that take you? Because obviously your schedule's pretty full, but I think you're probably having a lot of fun. I know how much fun we have.
I really do. I started back in 2012 with the Rutgers radio broadcast team, man. It's crazy. It's been a decade already, but I thoroughly enjoy going to the games through all the ups and the downs, but coming there every Saturday and being able to talk Rutgers football, see all of my, my family, my friends in the community. There's nothing like a game day atmosphere, as you guys know. I got to take a visit out to Penn State a few years back. I believe when we played out there, it was like 2 degrees. But the game day atmosphere is what gets you going, and it really gets you jazzed up for it. And that's what I look forward to, and I have fun getting to stay, relevant with the team and understanding the growth of it and being able to break down the game. So share my knowledge where I can.
You guys have anything?
No, Eric, great as always to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show, Eric. Appreciate it.
Eric, I like to fire questions, as you know, like with broadcasters, like you're always thinking of stuff. I want to ask you one more thing, and there may not be an answer to it, but you do a lot of interviews, you've talked to a lot of people. The message that you like to deliver, or something that maybe gets missed in the background with, you know what I mean? Like you mentioned your parents, your family, all that kind of stuff. Over the 12 years and since things have happened for you, is there something that you want to make sure people take away from it that they don't necessarily know about, or something you don't really get to talk about too often?
Yeah, I always talk about my morning routine, honestly. People assume that I can, just get up and be somewhere early in the morning or be something here and there, but I go through a 2.5-hour process every single morning with my nurses of getting me out of bed, getting me washed up, going to the bathroom, back in the bed, getting dressed, and then finally in my wheelchair where I'm presentable. It's not easy, it's not fun, but it's something that I have to do, and I don't let that moment every morning hold me back from going out there and being a positive role model in the community, because a lot of people, believe me, in this community, they don't enjoy that process and it ruins their day most of the time. But I just know that it's something I have to go through right now, and one day I won't have to.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing that. That's important for people to understand that. So thanks a lot, man. We really appreciate it. Best of luck with your broadcasting career, the coffee house, and what a great idea that is. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Make sure you're enjoying your daily cups of belief as well.
Will do.
Will do, Eric. Thanks so much. Take care now.
Take care.
Have a good
Thanks.
night.
Appreciate you guys.